Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Ting, a Chinese teacher helping you learn Mandarin in a simple and practical way. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to express contrast in Chinese using 虽然但是, although, but. This is a very useful structure for real conversations. I'll explain it in English with simple Chinese examples so you can follow easily. You can also turn on subtitles and choose your preferred language if needed. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever wanted to say something like, although it's difficult, I want to learn Chinese? Well, in this quick explainer, we're going to get the hang of the simple pattern for doing exactly that. Let's get right into it. I mean, think about it. How often do you say things in your own language like, although it's raining, I still want to go out? Expressing this kind of contrast is a huge part of everyday conversation, and you'll see that in Chinese, the structure for it is actually super logical. All right, so let's talk about this idea of contrast. We're going to introduce a core pattern that's going to be your new best friend for this. Once you get it down, you'll start seeing it everywhere.
And here it is, the main event, a fantastic two-part team. First up, you have 虽然, that's 虽然. Then you have its partner, 但是, or 但是. The key thing to remember is that these two almost always appear together. 虽然 kicks off the first idea, and then 但是 swoops in to introduce the contrast. Let's see how it works in a real conversation.
Okay, let's jump into our first scenario. Shopping for a watch. This is where we get to see the pattern in a real, everyday situation. Imagine our friend Tom is out with his Chinese friend, Xiaoli, and they're looking at a watch in a store. So Xiaoli points out that the watch is beautiful. Tom totally agrees, but there's a problem. Now listen how he uses our pattern to connect these two ideas. He says, although it's beautiful, but it's too expensive. See how he acknowledges her point first before introducing his own? That is a classic, supernatural way to use this structure.
Okay, let's look at another really common scenario. This time Tom's been brave, and he's cooked a meal for the very first time. Now he's asking Xiaoli for her honest opinion.
Tom asks if the dish is any good. Now, what's really interesting here is how Xiaoli answers. She could have just said, yeah, it's delicious, but instead, she uses our pattern to give him an even better compliment. By starting with, although it's your first time, she's acknowledging that it might not be perfect, which makes the but it's delicious part feel so much more sincere and encouraging. It's a fantastic little trick.
So the basic pattern is pretty straightforward, right? But there's one small tip about word order that's really going to help you sound more natural. Let's break it down.
And here's some great news for you. With the first part of the phrase, 虽然, you've got flexibility. As you can see, you can place it either after the subject, like he, although is not tall, or you can put it before the subject, although he is not tall. And guess what? Both are 100% correct and mean the exact same thing. Easy, right?
Now, here is the one important rule you really have to remember. While 虽然 is flexible, its partner, 但是, is not. It always comes right before the person or thing you're talking about in the second part of the sentence. So the crucial point is, 但是 comes first, then the subject. That's the key.
All right, that was a quick tour of a really fundamental grammar point. Let's do a quick recap just to make sure it all sticks.
Fantastic job. You now have the full pattern down. 虽然但是. You get the structure, you've seen it in action, and you know that one really important rule about word order. You are ready to use this yourself.
And that brings us to the end. You know, the absolute best way to really learn something is to try it yourself. So my question for you is, can you create your own sentence using this pattern? Think about the weather today, or a movie you just watched, or even your Chinese studies. Give it a shot. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.
Great job finishing today's lesson. Now you know how to use 虽然但是 to express contrast in Chinese, which will make your sentences more natural and expressive. If you'd like personalized guidance and speaking practice, you can book a trial lesson through my Preply link in the description. And if this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next lesson. In the next video, we'll learn how to express cause and effect using 因类所以. See you next time!